Hey guys, how we doing today? I know it takes a minute or so to connect, and I don't have the laptop here, so I can't actually see if you can see or hear me yet. But hopefully you can. Had to set my pipe down to get the stream started, which is never a good thing because I sometimes forget to pick it up. Hey JMZ56, how you doing, buddy? I see we got Desert Pine Piper, Patrick Iso, and sorry, I'm on the tablet, so the notifications come up and they stay for a short while, and then they like fade off into the ether. So I have to wait for somebody to say something before I can see them again. Rob Charette, good to see you. Pipes and Bees. Adam B, hello there. WKR Piper, Big Dave, Pipeful, how you doing, Andrew? Paul the Piper, hello, Paul. West Virginia Grizzly, how you doing, buddy? The Durham Duke and HH Piper YTPC. My friend Ollie from Chicago. Nick Majeski, the Armchair Piper. Justin Aldridge, fly tying with Justin Aldridge. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Portsmouth Piper, Piping Hammer, Boris the Piper, Gregory Patterson. Great to see you guys showing up. And Pipe Tree is here. How you doing there, Pipe Tree? Guy, the Zen Mood Piper, good to see you, buddy. And Douglas Gorman. The names are moving past quickly here, guys. Goatman Stevie, Frank Danene, Pipe Writer. How you doing, buddy? All's good here, Paul. Hope all is well with you. Had a nice, quiet Saturday so far. And Mr. Meyer, hello there from London. Thanks for tuning in from London. Kirk Maxon, how you doing, Kirk? You're trying to hang in there? I hope you're doing well. The golden paper, yeah. My wife and I went to Walmart yesterday, last night, and you know the entire aisle that has the toilet paper in it is just bare. It's just been completely stripped. And you go around the corner, and there are cases, literally boxes full of facial tissue. You know, Kleenex, not Kleenex brand, but you know, clean facial tissues. And it's just puzzling to me because if I have a cold, which is how the coronavirus presents, I'm going to want to have the facial tissues much more than I'm going to want. Anyway, you get the idea. It's crazy. But oops, sorry guys, I kicked the tripod here. Oh, Rob, you got a marksman. That's fantastic. The thing is, anytime there's uncertainty, there's fear associated with that. And, people will act irrationally. We all do. I'm not trying to put myself above folks. I'm sure that under different circumstances, I'd be doing something just as ridiculous. And hey, for all I know, it's not ridiculous. Maybe there is a great shortage coming. We shall find out. But it's always that uncertainty. I saw a quote once, and I cannot remember the quote or who actually said it, but it was that the fear of change isn't really that we're afraid of where we're going, but it's that gap in between. And it was described as the trapeze artist letting go of the one bar and reaching for the other. You know, that uncertainty of the time in between. Yeah, yeah. Oh, way to go, Justin. How is that spark plug treating you, Patrick? Hello, Micah, Southwest Aficionado. Good to see you. The virus was worried you'd get it sick. That's great. By the way, I've got this is a Marksman Jumbo, and I am smoking some of this. And if you didn't see today, Classical Pipes put up a great review of this. It's a very nice tobacco if you haven't tried it. If you like the H&H Dark Fired, I think you'll definitely like this stuff. Not dark, old Dark Fired, sorry. It is a lat bomb, Patrick. That's good to know. That would not be up my alley then. Oh, Joshua, good luck with that. Boy, I thought about that in the past, and I couldn't do fasting from tobacco for Lent. I'm not a strong enough guy to do it. Hello, Mark in Rhode Island. Good to see you, buddy. Garage Piper, good to see you, my friend. Big E, how you doing? Yeah, Dion did a nice job with that, and yeah, it's definitely worth a try. Yeah, Patrick, ice cream wouldn't be much of a challenge to me. I'm not a big sweet eater. It's a beautiful day here, Big Dave. It's a little windy and slightly chilly, but the sun is shining. Really, really nice day. I don't know what the actual, I think the high today was going to be 55 or something. Yesterday we got up to something ridiculous, like 67. Arkansas Mike, how you doing? Fragrant Offering, good to see you. That's the truth, Justin. Yeah, hot and spicy I'm good with. Sweet, not a big fan of. Cold and rainy in northeastern Arkansas. Well, sorry to hear that, Mike. Spring is coming. Oh, thank you, WKR Piper. I appreciate that. I had a great time last night. I don't know how many of you folks were able to tune in, but that interview with Phil Bennett was a lot of fun. Phil's a great guy, and if you get a chance, check out the replay, but also definitely check out Phil's channel. You'll enjoy him. Cold and raining in Scotland. I guess this is the season for cold and rain, really, but. And there you go, Southern Arizona, low 70s. Was that the Durham Duke that said he misses baseball already? I do too. It's, for me, that's actually when this got, it was. That's when this became a real issue, when they suspended spring training and they don't even know when the season's going to start. I'm a big baseball fan. It's something I really look forward to, and that was, to me, the greatest tragedy of all this. Of course, I don't have any personal tragedy to related to it. I'm sure other people have much worse things going on in their life than lack of baseball, but it was that was when I really realized this was going to impact us quite broadly. Yes, Big Dave, oh the humanity. Boris, it's just below freezing in Helsinki. Well, I hate to say this, Boris, but I'm really glad I'm not in Helsinki. So what's everyone, if you are smoking out there, what are you enjoying now? And what kind of pipes? If you missed it, this is a Marksman pipe, and I'm having some of this Amphora Kentucky blend. Very nice stuff. Pipes and Bees is having some old dark fired. If you like that, you should definitely try the Amphora. Amphora Virginia and a Joby. Yeah, I want to try that, Micah. One of the, I think it might have been Smoking Pipes, has a deal where you can buy the whole, pouch of each of the Amphora line. And I was thinking about getting that. Velvet and GDB, sorry. GBD. There we go. Wow, super value bourbon whiskey. Thanks, W. Carapiper. That would be great. Sorry, Joshua. We'll all smoke for you. Fellow Tire, I might know him. Him. Oh, okay. How is that cob smoking for you, Justin? Carter Hall and a corn cob. There's something magical about that. You throw in a cup of coffee, and that's a good day. It's funny. I actually smoked a lot of Carter Hall. I mean, it's been my favorite tobacco for a really long time. But it's probably been about 6 months since I've had a tub open. Just got on to other things and haven't gotten around to opening another tub. Haddo's Delight, Savinelli 812, some Father Dempsey. That's a nice blend. I really like those Kramer's blends. They've got some unique character to them. Reminds me a bit of some of the Peretti blends. Glad to hear it, Justin. Duck Hunters, Wild Game Dinner and Drink. Sounds like a good time there, Rob. PBR Street Gang's having some Carter Hall and a cob as well. Yeah. I think when this stream is over, I might just have to get out a tub of Carter Hall. It's been a while. Mr. Meyer, yeah, take it easy there, buddy. Glad it is the flu. Boy, that's something you never expected to say. Glad you have the flu. Hey, Couch, how's it doing, buddy? Westchester, PA. I used to work in Westchester a few years back. It's a big 1007, if I'm pronouncing that right. Nice area, Westchester. Used to work right off of Boot Road, if that means anything to you. So the reason we are gathered today is that we want to sit around and smoke a pipe and enjoy one another's company, which is a perfectly fine reason. But the secondary reason is I do have a giveaway that I'm going to do today. And as I've mentioned many times now, this is something I want to do to thank all of you for taking the time out to watch these live streams, to subscribe, to comment, to click the thumbs up button, even occasionally click the thumbs down button. And I want to, a lot of guys have, and they're great, have these giveaway things where do a video or something like that. I just thought it would be better just to have something open like this where anybody that's here can win. So the rules are pretty simple, and we're going to do this probably around the half-hour point. The rules are pretty simple. You have to be a subscriber to the channel. That's the only requirement. So if you're not and you want to get in on this, go click that subscribe button. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to say whatever number correct answer wins, and we'll just count until somebody gets that number, and that'll be the winner. I'll explain it when we're going to do it. We're not going to do it until about the 30-minute point. But what you will win, in case you haven't seen this yet, is a tin of, I hate this tablet. I can never figure out where the camera is. A tin of Greg P's Spark Plug, which is a relatively new blend. This is a Latakia based plug. And from what my friend Patrick has just told us, this is a Latakia bomb of sorts. And Greg P's, if you don't know, he does two things really well. One is Latakia. He's probably the best in the world at it. And his plugs are usually very good as well. So this should be a really nice blend if you're a Latakia fan. And if you're not a Latakia fan, you can give it to a friend. Because the other thing that you'll be winning, and these are both one package, so if you win, you get both of these, is this refurbished French. What is labeled on it is aged Algerian briar. It has the word France on the stem, so it's French made, and on the side are the words Pipe Dream. A bit hard to read, but they are there, and that's all I know about this pipe. But it is really in great condition. I restored the whole thing. It's like new basically, but it was lightly smoked to begin with, and hopefully you're getting to see. Oh yeah, that's showing up nicely. Some of the grain on this, some of the straight grain is just outstanding. It shows up really well on this side here. I'm really pleased with the way the staining turned out on this. I had sanded this all the way back to bare wood and restained it. It's got a few fills on it, just one or two, and they're hardly noticeable, and they just lend some character. It is a standard push tenon, not a filter pipe. Yeah, and so hopefully, well, definitely one of you guys is going to be able to enjoy this, and I hope you will enjoy it. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this once a month. Probably, well, definitely in the middle of the month. It'll be either the second or third week of the month. And hello, Sandra. Good to see you. Brian Avery. It will definitely be in the second or third week of each month, and it will vary. So some weeks it might be a pipe, some months. Some months it might be a pipe, some months it might just be some tobacco. We'll just see. Maybe tampers, whatever. But I just want to do something small each month for you guys. Pretty wood is pretty wood, that's true, especially when it comes to briar. In my opinion, there's no bad briar. I know there is, but I haven't run into it in a pipe form yet. Hey, Simon, welcome. Good to have you here, my friend. We're getting pretty close to the end of this amphora. Thank you, Guy. Thank you. And I appreciate that. And I'm not trying to win you over with gifts. I'm just trying to give something back. And Douglas, I seem to remember there was a Pied Piper, but I haven't seen that for a while. Ah, very good, Simon. So, guys, if you're interested, Simon's doing a Matches 860 artisan pipe auction, I think, if I got that right, Simon. And he's going to be showing those pipes tonight in his live stream. So that's definitely something worth catching. Sandro, it's the and it's out now, but it's the Amphora Kentucky blend. Very good stuff. Okay, so on London Calling with Simon, he's going to be showing the pipes tonight, and then sorry it disappeared again, but I guess next Saturday or Sunday, and I'll let you know when it pops back up. There we go. Next Saturday will be the actual auction. Zippo can. I have to look that up, Big Dave. It sounds very familiar, Zippo Contempo, but I just can't place it. Phoenixville, PA. That is a nice city. That's the. I can't remember the name of the movie theater now, but it's the movie theater where they filmed The Blob, the scene where everybody's running out of the theater in The Blob. If you've seen that 1950s, I think, horror movie, and every year they have a festival where you can see The Blob, and I think every year they have like a recreation of that scene with people running out of the theater. And that's a great scene if you watch the movie, and if you're a horror movie fan, which I am. Tall. Hello, Christian. Good to see you, Bonapiper. So the Contempo is a tall butane Zippo. Yeah, if you're a horror movie fan and you watch The Blob, pay attention to the people as they're running out of the theater, because it's really quite funny. They're actually laughing. They're having a good time doing the scene, which was filmed independent of the movie. You know, they just wanted to get a group of people running. So they didn't even know they were in a horror movie. So they're supposed to be running out in a panic, but if you really pay attention to their faces, they're actually laughing and having a good time. It's a great movie. I love those old horror movies. Sounds nice, Big Dave. Oh, if you watched last night, I did find my glasses. Well, my wife found my glasses. They were not on top of my head. All right, Durham Duke, you take care and have a good one. So I'm gonna switch. Have you seen Murder by Death? Oh yes, that's a great movie, Murder by Death with Peter Falk. It's hilarious. I'm gonna switch to one of my little shop pipes that this poor thing. I've done experiments on it and staining and filling and things like that. It's a no-name little Prince, but it's one I smoke quite frequently down here in the shop, and it treats me well. All right, Simon, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Yeah, there are some good brew pubs in Phoenixville. Yeah, it's a good point, Big Dave. You know, Zippo really rides a fine line there. Their lighters are really inexpensive when you think about the value you're getting out of them. And with their free repair for life, you know, it's an interesting business model. Not one that I think anybody would try to launch today, but it's a great business model for us. They're great lighters and they're guaranteed for life. And I have not filled mine today, so I have a fear that it's going to conk out on me soon. Do I miss Pittsburgh? I do miss Pittsburgh, but I get back there quite often because that's where my wife's family is. Brian, Zippos have a way of hiding from you and then showing up when you least expect it. Piano Piper, thank you for joining us from Maine. Mr. Myers asking about the Thunderbird gas insert. I don't use them. I have never, and you know, I know other people disagree with this, and we all have different palates. I have never noticed a flavor from the Zippo lighter fluid. Sandro's asking what tobacco my wife likes me to smoke. You know, Sandro, it's interesting. She's very, very tolerant, and most of the time, if I ask her if she likes it, she says she doesn't even notice it. There's only been a couple of blends that she's even remarked on, and those have typically been unkind remarks because she didn't like them. But she doesn't have a favorite, really. Oh, Bill Cavendish. I've talked about this before, but I like the current version of Three Nuns. I smoke a couple tins of that a year, and I could be anywhere in the house and light up a pipe with Three Nuns, and it's very predictable. Within like 5 or 10 minutes, my wife will ask me if I'm burning toast. There's something about Three Nuns that makes her think I'm burning toast. And it's gotten to the point where it's a joke, because I used to smoke it early in the morning. It would be like, wasn't my first pipe of the day, because I always used to start off with Carter Hall. But before I'd go to work, and she would still be asleep, and she'd wake up just because she thought the toaster was going to catch fire. There we go. I knew that was going to happen. That's okay, John. The replays are always there. But I appreciate you you tuning in today. The bearded Welshman. West Virginia Grizzly has a tolerable wife as well. It is a blessing. It is, and I feel bad for these poor guys that are sitting out in their garages in the winter, or and you know, some do it by choice, and it's fine. It's fine. But I'm very fortunate to be able to just smoke anywhere I want. Guy, Lane Limited Ready Rubbed is fantastic. It's a really, really good tobacco in my opinion. It's an old codger blend. It's got a really nice sort of cocoa note to it. It's good stuff. Good burning toast or bad burning toast? I don't know. I guess since it worries her, it's bad burning toast. Is there good burning toast? Ollie, you're asking a question that you shouldn't ask, because I'd probably, it depends. Like I'm probably on a weekend day like this, when I'm working in the shop, I'm probably doing between 8 and 10 bowls. On a work day, when I'm actually going to work, I usually have 2 bowls in the morning. One of those I continue on the commute, and then I'll have one when I come home, and maybe 2 more at night. So 5 or 6, maybe. Just depends on the day. Although now, because they've basically shut down my place of employment, but they still require us to work, and fortunately, a lot of what I do I can do remotely. So I'm home for at least the rest of this month, and that's great because I just sit there with the computer and I can have a pipe all day. Good coffee, because the coffee at work is awful. I'm really getting used to this working at home thing. Yes, John, the bearded Welshman saying that his wife is tolerant, but he still chooses to not smoke in the house, and that's perfectly valid. We all we all need to create the environment that we're comfortable in. I'm sorry, Brian, I don't understand. It seems a lot to this once a weekend. I do sometimes smoke flakes. Yeah, it's true. The Latakia is less likely. For some reason, that's one that rings a lot of people's bells in terms of being offensive. But I'm also not an aromatic smoker, so I don't get the people coming up to me saying, "Oh, that smells so good." Although I have had those experiences of people saying, "Oh, that reminds me of my grandfather," this kind of thing. And that's always nice when that happens. I had one woman, I was at a shopping mall, and my wife was spending interminable hours in the stores, and I decided to stay outside and smoke a pipe. I was just sitting on a bench in this courtyard kind of area, and this woman came up and sat next to me and told me that she was an old elderly woman, was telling me that her husband smoked a pipe. He had passed away a few years back, and it was so nice to see someone doing that and all. It's nice because in this world where there's so much anti-smoking stuff, it's just nice to occasionally get a nice positive response like that. So we're a little bit past the half-hour point. Should we go ahead and do the contest? I'll once again kind of give you the run-through of the rules and everything. Oh, gotcha, Brian. Gotcha. Yeah, some folks, and that's great. I mean, I've had the experience of, being sick and not smoking for an extended period of time, or sometimes when I travel for work, I wind up in a hotel that, you just can't. And I always enjoy that first one back. And I would imagine the guys that just do a 1 bowl a week, 1 bowl a day, they're probably enjoying that bowl more than I enjoy anything I smoke during the day, just because it's more important to them. So let's do this giveaway. So first off, the rules. Let me show you what you're going to win first. So, and I've already done this, I know, but some folks may have tuned in since. So we got a tin of Greg P's spark plug, GLPs. This is a Latakia-based plug, which is relatively new, but has been getting quite a lot of good buzz. And we have this pipe that was a state pipe that I have refinished. It is a French aged Algerian briar, probably from somewhere in the late 1940s, early 1950s. Been fully refurbished, and as you can see, it's got some really nice grain, nice straight grain. It's not a filter pipe. It has a name on the side which appears to read Pipe Dreams. I don't know anything about that, but so that's what you'll win. This pipe and the tin of spark plug. Now what we're going to do is that's the way to think about it, Paul. No, nobody's going to get my tobacco. I'm going to smoke it all. Although, to be honest with you, if I tried to smoke all the tobacco I have, I think it would kill me. I really have a ridiculous amount of tobacco right now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask a question. I've got a trivia question. And we're going to say, let's say the fourth correct answer is going to be the winner. So you're going to have to input the answer into the chat, and I will count the correct answers as they stream by, and I'll let you know who's got the the correct answer the fourth time, and that will be the winner. So is everyone set? Everyone's anxiously sitting at their keyboards. I love this because there's no way to, if you're the first one to give the right answer, it doesn't help you. So I really do like this. The question hasn't been asked yet, so you're just in time, Discover. Just in time. Okay, so here we go. We're going to ask the question now. In 1922, a pipe manufacturer was sued over the use of the white dot as a stem marker. The result of the lawsuit was that this company had to restrict the use of the white dot to just Germany and Austria and use a blue or gray dot in all other countries. What was the name of this company? I'm seeing some answers. Piano Piper. The correct answer is Vaughn. And I believe if someone could please scroll through and just confirm that Piano Piper was in fact number 4. Congratulations, you are the winner. Yes, it was Vaughn. They started using the white dot, and there's actually some contention as to whether or not they had the white dot before Dunhill. But Dunhill won the court case, and as some concession, Vaughn was only able to use it. They were still able to use it in their home country, Germany and in Austria, because they had fairly good proof that they actually were using it before Dunhill patented it. Fantastic. So Piano Piper was the 4th correct answer. Congratulations, buddy. Ghostbusters, it might have been. If you could please send me an email at canerodpiper@gmail.com, and you can get that in the About page of my webpage, or you can go through the About tab of my channel, or you can go through my website as well to get in touch. Send me an email with your address, and I'll get that in the mail early next week. And congratulations. So I'm trying to think of other ways to do these. If anybody has any ideas, and you don't have to explain them now, but if you want to send me an email, I'd love to hear thoughts on how else I could do this. Oh boy, allergies and they're hitting early this year too. All right, Courtney, thanks for stopping in, and have a good day. Yeah, Piano Piper, it might be your lucky day. Oh, we're getting some indication that I might be wrong about who is the 4th. Could one of the moderators please just scroll back and check again for me? I do want to make sure I've got that right, and my apologies if I got it wrong. Yeah, Chris, we're gonna check on it. So if either Paul or Christian could go back and just check on that and confirm that I've got the fourth one right. And as I was saying, it's I'd really love to have another way to do this. You know, it's impossible to assign everybody a number and do a random number or something like that. Oh, Discover, that's awful. AT942 pipe and it gets clogged often. Is there any way to prevent that? What do you mean by clogged? Do you mean the you pack it and you don't get a good draw? So Paul's now saying it was H.H. Piper? Are you out there, which H.H.? Was that the name, H.H. Piper? Piano Piper was the fourth. Oh, gosh, we got some confusion here. Arkansas Mike. So Bona Piper is saying it was Arkansas Mike. It's the fourth correct answer. We'll get this sorted out. I was wanting number 4, so the fourth correct answer. Well, IP2 clips, and you should probably clean out the stem after every smoke. All right, Mr. Meyer, thanks for stopping in. So it's okay if you answer twice. So you just have to be the number 4 correct answer. So if one person put in Vaughn 4 times before anyone else, they would be the winner. All right, guys, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, just because this is... What we're going to do is I will, after this, I will go through as soon as the live stream comments pop up, because it takes a little while for things to process. I will go through and confirm who the correct winner is, and I will put that in the description. Actually, I'll put a comment on the video, so I'll pin the comment to the top. If it is Piano Piper, do send me an email. If it's someone else, please check, and you guys know who it might be because you've seen the names come up here. Oh, it's the answer, not the person. Okay, so Chris W. is now saying it may in fact be Piano Piper. I will confirm this. So I'll put, again, there'll be a pinned comment. Please check later this evening. If it's someone other than Piano Piper, get in touch with me by email. and we'll work something out. If it is someone other than Piano Piper, they'll be the winner. Piano Piper will get some sort of a consolation prize because we got his hopes up. So we'll take care of you either way, my friend. And sorry about the confusion. We are going to have to come up with a better way to do this, apparently. Capri pipe that's always gurgling. Is it a bent or straight? Okay, we're getting confirmation that Piano Piper is the winner from Paul, and we will. Again, we'll confirm it, but I think it seems like that's the consensus now. That's kind of you, John. We'll keep that in mind. If we can't get this figured out, we'll just send everything to John with a conversation starter. Hello, Adita. Glad you could make it. Yeah. If we ever do a cash prize, that could get quite ugly. So we gotta come up with a better way to do this. And I'm sorry about the confusion, folks. Half bent is gurgling. Yeah, it might just be that the design of the pipe. If it's, and this is just a random guess, but if it's a filter pipe and you're not using a filter, that can sometimes lead to problems. And it might also just be misdrilled. A lot of reasons why pipes gurgle. Decaf tobacco. Boy, if they start putting caffeine in tobacco, I'll be all set. Yeah, you are a winner, PBR Street Gang. The sports team you should root for, that's a different question altogether. All right, we're getting confirmation that it is Piano Piper, so we're going to go with that, but I will double check and, again, check the comments to be sure later this evening. Well, Smoking Dead, I don't want to make this a commercial for my website, but if you go to CaneRodPipes.com, if you'd like, I'd be happy to take a look at the pipe for you. And if it is a drilling issue, sometimes that can be fixed. Well, Piano Piper Yabos are great. They get a lot of views. So. Everyone gets a trophy. That's true, Big Dave. You just keep thinking that way, PBR Street Gang. If it makes you happy, it makes you happy. How many bowls do I smoke a day? I just said, on the weekends it's usually like 8 to 10, and during the week it's probably more like 5 or 6. Epstein's mother. For all the Welcome Back Kotter fans. Three Rivers Piper, good to see you, buddy. Okay, Goatman Stevie, thanks for checking in. Good to see you. Paul the Scandinavian, how you doing, buddy? Papa Smoke is asking, how do you convince your girlfriend that smoking is cool and not harmful at all? That's a tough one. All right, Bearded Welshman, thanks for stopping in and enjoy your dinner. Good to hear all as well, Paul. Did you succeed, Christian? Did you in your dangerous mission? Yeah, to get back to the girlfriend, that's a good point, Big Dave. You know, a lot of the harmful, and you got to be careful talking about this stuff, but a lot of the harmful things with cigarette smoking involve inhalation of the smoke into your lungs. So I think Paul's got the best idea there. Hey, Rob, enjoy, and thanks, and you have a good weekend too. But yeah, talking about the fact that you're not inhaling, and if you can find it, the original Surgeon General's report, which I think has been censored because it's almost impossible to find, but if you can find it, it does say that the pipe smokers that do not inhale actually live longer than non-smokers. And that was a fairly large study. You know, that's the reason why we've got all this turmoil and well, I'm glad you found one, Christian. That's why we've got all this turmoil is that original Surgeon General's report. And in that report, it says that pipe smoking is actually beneficial to your health, essentially, because you'd live longer than a non-smoker if you don't inhale. I think I've unfortunately let my coffee go cold. Yeah, Bona Piper. That's my understanding as well. It's stress reduction. There's actually been a study that shows it lowers blood pressure. And yes, there are folks that actually inhale pipe and cigars too. I don't know how they do it. When it has happened occasionally, it's been quite painful for me as well. I saw a comment there about George Burns. I'm waiting for it to come back. Yeah, Chris W. George Burns' famous line is, he's smoking a cigar. He's 100 years old, and someone asks him, "What does your doctor think about you smoking at this age?" And he says, "Oh, my doctor, he's dead." I love George Burns. He was great. Obviously he was fairly wealthy. Wasn't worried about where his next cigar was coming from. But whatever cigars he smoked, the company that made those cigars made a deal with him that they would give him a free box every month. And he apparently waited with great anticipation for that box to arrive every month. He really enjoyed that he got a free box of cigars. Yeah, Bunna Piper, that would be an interesting study, but you're never going to see it because it would probably have some positive spin for cigars or pipes and/or pipes. Wharf Valley Boy, how you doing, Tim? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't know what that is, Papa Smoke. Well, from what I understand, if you were running Whiskey a Go-Go Discover, you wouldn't be able to take any crap. PBR Street Gang. I'm not going to repeat that one. Oh, thank you, Paul. This is actually a no-name pipe that I keep down in here in the shop. It doesn't have I have no idea who made it. Just a basket pipe. think I might have to. I've got a little bit of tobacco left here. This is Haunted Bookshop, by the way. Yeah, I like this shape, Paul. It's I wish it were a little bit larger, not because I like bigger pipes, but just I like a little bit more capacity. Was it El Producto? I wasn't sure which brand it was. Yeah. If the mods could take a look, we're getting some mod comments. It didn't reconstitute well. It was dried out, Brian. This is empty. No, Infringinator, I haven't seen Eddie today, but I did see his video earlier today. Some very good news. Haunted Bookshop was still available on Smoking Pipes this morning. They're having a 15% off bulk Cornell and Deal sale, and I did take advantage of that. Yeah, discovered DNR tobacco is a bit dry. Mods, can you please take care of this issue? I don't. And Three Rivers is asking if I have a favorite pipe for river fishing. When I do smoke fishing, it's usually by streamside or back at the car. I don't smoke when I'm on the stream. I'll usually take a cob with me and maybe leave a nicer pipe back in the car. Yes, thank you, Wharf Valley Boy. That's a good point. And it looks like somebody caught him, so thanks, whoever did that. There you go, guy. Three Rivers was asking about favorite pipe for fishing, and I don't actually, I'm wondering how many of you guys are like this. I don't have a favorite pipe. I like them all, and none of them really. I mean, there's probably in my collection of, I don't know how many, there's probably a handful that I would say I'll keep these and let the other ones go. But I can't say that there's one pipe that I really love. They're just all, you get to know them and they all smoke well. There's another one, moderators. Thank you. You guys are quick. Thank you, Christian. Much appreciated. Yeah, Chris W., I'm kind of in the same camp, although Daughters and Ryan was way too dry for me. But most of the Cornell and Deal blends come fairly dry, and I like them that way. Hey, Jimmy Tabacchi, good to see you, buddy. May have been the same guy, yeah. So I'd like to make a comment, actually, on moderation and hiding people from your channel. I made a couple videos this week talking about that, and I was accused of censorship because of that, and somebody brought up the Bill of Rights and all that stuff. And I don't think it's censorship. The way I think about it is, if you're having a party at your house and you got friends over, and one of the friends is acting poorly, maybe drinks too much or something like that, you'd ask them to leave. And that's basically what we're doing here. We got another one, guys. And it's fine. I mean, these are, I don't know what these people are getting out of this, just, writing random nonsense and being blocked. It's, if that's what you want to do, go do it. It's more when someone gets attacked. I don't like that. I don't like when people are singled out and basically slandered, libeled, whatever the word is. I feel, and I'm sure you guys feel the same, I feel protective of my friends. And, I think if any one of you, and I consider you all friends, was being attacked in the chat, I want that person gone. If anyone makes a video attacking someone that's a friend of mine, I'm going to call that person out and say they shouldn't have done it. And if they want to come back or send their friends in to attack me, they're going to get blocked. That's just the way it is. Yeah, pipes and bees, that's the way I look at it. What do you mean by that, Stony Lawn Cottage? Oh, did Uncle Phil make it? Good to see you, Phil, if you're there. We're bringing them in. I guess that's good. I guess that means we've we've struck a chord. Hey, Phil, good to see you. Yep, Brian, that's absolutely true. A lot of people don't realize that, but the Bill of Rights is about limiting government action, not controlling individuals. Indeed, Portsmouth Piper, I'll just take that as a compliment. Well, folks, we're just a little over the 1 hour point, and I don't know if there's anything scheduled after this. I don't want to run too late. Any burning questions or topics you guys want to talk about before I sign off? Yes, Smoking Kentucky Piper. I went to Walmart last night, and it was interesting. Ali, what does udon mean? I know musain. Jimmy, the best way to do that is going to be to do pipe mud, or better off pipe mortar in the bottom, and just sort of raise the level of the bowl up. There's nothing else you could do really with a pipe that's drilled too high. People fighting over carts at Costco. I fear that in the coming weeks, we're going to find out what humanity truly is. And we're already seeing some of it. Gotcha, Ali. No, Big Dave, I'm not allowed to smoke on the property where I work. I can't even smoke in the parking lot. That's about 2 years ago they did that. It depends, Christian. Bonapiper's asking when the peak will come. I don't know if you guys have seen the curves that the CDC is using to predict the spread of the coronavirus, and it's actually really interesting. So there are these curves that are sort of like normal distributions, bell-shaped curves. So it'll rise exponentially, it'll peak out, and then it'll come back down with a negative exponential decay, which is how these things just work. And if we do absolutely nothing, that curve is narrow and tall, which seems like a good thing because then it gets over quickly. If we do the things we're doing, closing schools and limiting travel and all that, we wind up stretching that curve out so it lasts longer, but we decrease the peak. Now, unfortunately, the same number of people get infected in both cases. It's going to take longer with these precautions. But that's a necessity because it turns out that peak, if you don't stretch it out, exceeds the capacity of the hospitals. So we'll have patients in hallways and stuff like that, which of course we don't want. So under that scenario, the peak is coming probably in another 6 to 8 weeks. And I am not an expert on epidemiology, so take everything I say with a huge grain of salt. Yeah, I'm curious about the 14 days. I know that's the incubation period. So if you're exposed, you'll know in 14 days. Guy, thank you for stopping in. Have a good evening. If you're exposed, you'll know in 14 days whether or not you've got the virus. So I think that's where this 14-day number is coming from. As I mentioned last night, here in the county that I live in, there's been 11 cases of people being infected. In Pennsylvania, there's been like 23. So my county is considered a real hotspot. But in terms of confirmed cases, there's only 2 in the state, and they're not in the county that I'm in. So this could all just be people with colds. We don't know yet. So we're sort of locking things down for 2 weeks just to see what happens. And in 2 weeks' time, we'll know. Yeah, fragrant offering. Please don't do that. Yeah, Wharf Valley boy, that's true, and we just don't know. These it should follow the same pattern. We should be able to use China as a sort of template for what's going to happen everywhere. There's no reason why the time course would be different. Oh, thanks, Chris W. I try to be honest about such things. There's I'm sorry, I missed who that was. Somebody said there's some good content on YouTube about coronavirus. I watched a really well done video last night that sort of indicated how this compares to other viruses in the past, history, going all the way back to the 1920s, the Spanish flu, and all of that. And it was really enlightening because it put into perspective what we're going through, but also what your risks are. I'll find that video and put it down in the description if you guys are interested. It was I can't unfortunately remember the name of the guy that did it, but it was really well done animation, almost like a little mini documentary on these things. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen, YouTube actually put out a guidance the other day saying that they're going to be keeping an eye on content related to coronavirus because they want to make sure that the false information is not getting out as easily as the correct information. So that's kind of interesting. And going back to our censorship discussion earlier as well, they have the ability to do that. Obviously, their algorithms can pretty accurately detect these things, and it's going to impact on monetization mostly, but that also impacts on how likely you are to see the video if you're watching somebody else's. Maui, you have a good evening too. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Jimmy, I guess they're using their their ability to mess around with us for good this time. Discover, that's an interesting point. This probably will impact estate pipe sales. But, my methods and a lot of other guys' methods of sterilizing pipe should completely eliminate any risk from that. It's my understanding, and again, I'm not an expert, but this virus doesn't do very well outside of the body, so it's very easy to catch airborne. But if it lands on a surface or something, it's apparently not very hardy because they're not too concerned about cargo, things being shipped in from other countries. The guidance that they gave us at work was that if you're accepting something from shipping, the main risk is when the person hands you a pen to sign for it, or a clipboard. So that's something that was immediately in their possession. It could be potentially carrying virus, but wash your hands and you should be fine. Yes, Patrick, that's absolutely true. And we've seen just in the past couple days how distorted some of this stuff can be. That's interesting, Christian. Well, 2 to 3 days is still not very long. I know it sounds like a long time, but if you're shipping something from China, for example, it's going to take more than 2 or 3 days. Yes. Hey, Wheeled Piper, good to see you. And that, yeah, virus is not typically viable on surfaces, although for a short time it can be. It also depends a lot on the virus. I mean, I think, well, I'm not gonna try to remember my 20 years ago education on these things and tell you about it because it's probably wrong now. Hey, Piano Piper, fantastic. I'll look forward to reading that email later. Yeah, Big Dave, and it is strange that there wasn't this with the swine flu. But if you watch this video, and boy, I wish I could remember who this was, but I'll put it. I will put it in the description. If you watch this, it really puts the swine flu and coronavirus into perspective, along with several others. And the Spanish flu is the one that's, you know, really striking. I'm going to see if I can find the video here to tell you guys what it was. Here we go. So the channel name is Abacaba, Abacaba, and the title of the video is "How Does Coronavirus Compare to Ebola, SARS, etc." I really recommend this is not a new video, but it's well done. I really recommend you guys take a look at that. What I like most about it is that it puts the risk into perspective. And you know, this is not something that folks should be. Hello, Algonquin Briar. Glad you could make it, even though it's a little late. This is not something we should be walking around, you know, terrified of. We just need to take precautions. I'm sorry, guys. I did not mean to turn this into a coronavirus discussion. I know there's been more than enough of that in life, but just kind of naturally went there. Hard for it to not these days, I suppose. So I will not be doing a video tomorrow because I did the live stream last night and this today, and I think you're all going to get tired of me if I'm not careful. But I will be back next Friday. That's going to be me solo. I got to try to come up with something entertaining to talk about. Hopefully it will not be coronavirus. Or maybe it'll be about how it's tipping over. That would be nice. Yes, Pipe Tree. I'm going to say something about that. That's. Do you know the time that Simon's going live? Thank you, Fragrant Offering. I appreciate that. So in addition to advertising my live stream on Friday, there's a couple of other things I wanted to mention. One is that Eddie Gray just put out a video today updating us on the Matches 860 pipe. I strongly recommend you go and watch that video. Good news. And I want to point out that Simon London Calling is going to be showing the artisan pipes that are in the Matches 860 auction that he's, I believe he's organizing. I don't have a lot of detail on that. So Pipe Tree, UK time, but I didn't see the time. Oh, about 12 midnight UK time. So that'll be what, around 8 p.m. Eastern. And I've seen some of the, Big Dave, I'll keep that in mind. I have seen some of the pipes that Simon has on Instagram, and they're beautiful. I think it's going to be a really, really nice auction and some very, very nice pipes. So the first one, Frank Youngblood Piper, the first channel was Eddie Gray, which I think is the Pipe Nook. I think that's what he goes by on YouTube. And the second one was, I think it's London Calling with Simon. If you put those into the search bar, you should be able to find them. And I'm putting a lot in the description now, but I will put in the description links to both Eddie's channel, Simon's channel, and the video on coronavirus that I talked about. And I'll do that as soon as we finish up here. Yeah, Paul, I can do that. It's a little bit more expensive than the nickel silver, but I can do sterling silver. Chris, I think Chris is asking if I've ever done the oven baking with activated charcoal method of deghosting. I have not. It always seemed like a lot of trouble to me, and I was worried that I might be doing some damage to the pipe. I have recommended that to a few folks that have had ghosted meerschaums, but I haven't tried it myself. For me, if you've got a badly ghosted pipe, if the retort doesn't take care of it, a couple of salt treatments followed by a retort will typically take care of it. And I wrote a blog post on this. Sometimes it's really interesting. Sometimes you get these strong ghosts that don't go away with retorting. And if you do the salt treatment, the salt seems to be gummed together somehow. It's like something sticky is coming out of the pipe. And if you repeat the salt treatments until that doesn't happen, and then retort it works very well in my experience. And I don't know what that stuff is. Yeah, that would be my recommendation, Chris, is to try repeated salt treatments and see if that works. And pay attention to the first one in particular, see if the salt, I mean, after a salt treatment, if the pipe's clean, you should be able to just basically turn it upside down, tap it, and the salt will just fall out. In these badly ghosted pipes, it's you have to like break it up before it falls out. My pleasure, Frank. Yeah, I've not tried coffee grounds either. I mean, the salt and the retort are what works for me. Yeah, pipes and bees. I think it is the humectant, and I think the humectant is actually holding on to that ghost flavor somehow. It's interesting that every pipe that I've done that has had that problem, I've noticed that the smell is the same. I can't place it. I can't say that it's like, cherry or vanilla or anything like that, but it's just it's what I associate as being a aromatic ghost on a estate pipe. And that's the only way I could get rid of it. How would you guys like, it may not be easy to do this, but maybe doing some live stream, Friday night, the solo live streams with actually doing pipe repair? Oh, coffee grounds work well for you? That's, I'm sorry, I missed the name. I'll have to wait for the comments to come back up. The problem is when you get into things like coffee grounds, you have to wonder how much of, are you Victorian Piper used coffee grounds? How much of the coffee grounds are pulling the ghost out versus putting in a coffee flavor that's covering the ghost? Dove soap. Yeah, I'll have to give that some thought. I mean, there's not a lot I can do over here and have you see it, and it's hard for me to talk while I'm working, but maybe I can just take you through what I'm doing. What's on the bench right now, that sort of a thing. Talk about the challenges and all. Yeah, Big Dave, that's always a possibility. You just put one ghost over top of the other. And I think, I have smoked through ghosts. I have gotten estate pipes that I cleaned and everything, and they still had a ghost, and it was just easier for me to just smoke a lot of burley in it, and eventually it's not there. Oh, Frank, that's interesting. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Black House is a nice blend, Peter Piper. Hope you're enjoying that. The channel with the coronavirus vid was, I've forgotten already. I will put it in the description. Sorry about that. No, so it probably is, the coffee probably is pulling something out then, Victorian Piper. That's really interesting. I'll have to look into that. I certainly have plenty of coffee grounds. Abacaba. That was the name of the. No, it was ABACABA. So it was Abcaba. I'm fairly certain. Check the description after this video. I'll put it down there. Yeah, Big Dave, there are people that certainly do not like Mixture 79. It's one of the most polarizing blends I think I've run into. I like it, but it took me a little bit of time to get used to it. I think that's the problem. That first bowl or two could be a bit overwhelming, but after you've had a few, you start to be able to pick out the different notes, and it's a nice tobacco. Oh, what's a Lakeland? Desert Pine Piper is asking. So Lakelands are they're traditionally from a region that's called the Lakeland region, and I'm not sure I have the history right, but they're tobaccos that are processed with a topping that is very distinctive, often including things like rosewater, having floral components. Some people say that it reminds them of like grandmother's perfume or something like that. And they do have a reputation for ghosting pipes. Oh, you're getting that Play-Doh smell from the Warhorse Bar, Peter Piper. Yeah, it's very distinctive. That's a great tobacco, though. That's interesting, Alan. I've often thought about that. Could you just cut a piece of cigar off and put it in a pipe? I've taken like the nubs of cigars and stuck them in the pipe and smoked them. If it was a particularly good cigar, I've done that. And that is one thing. I earlier was talking about how tolerant my wife is. That is one thing for some reason she will not put up with. You know, I can smoke a cigar in the house and she's okay with that. I can smoke a pipe. But for some reason, when I put that cigar nub into the pipe, something happens that really bothers her. And it's not, she doesn't even know I'm doing it. She just complains about the smell. So that's one thing that she's not tolerant of. She'll chase me out of the house when I do that. All right, folks, my pipe is out here. Fragrant offering, my wife does not smoke, no. My pipe is now done, and we're at an hour and a half, so I think I'm going to bring this one to a close. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Congratulations again to Piano Piper, and I will again confirm, but we got several folks saying that was correct. Sorry about the confusion there. And beyond that, I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Don't forget to check out Simon's live stream tonight, London Calling with Simon, to see those Matches 860 artisan pipes that are going to be auctioned off, and the proceeds will go to John's family. And also check out the Pipe Nook for Eddie Gray's video today, talking about the Matches 860 tribute pipe. All very good things and all helping John's family. So thank you much. I look forward to seeing you on other live streams, and we'll be back next Friday. So have a great rest of the weekend all, and take care of yourselves. Bye now.